Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and a new month, new Olight innovation. I've got the Olight Arkfeld Pro here in my hand, kind of a upgrade and an upsize, supersize to the conventional Arkfelds. And the Arkfeld is one of those kind of unique sort of beam or sort of blocky flashlights. It's very similar to others like the Nightcore EDC 27, although that's way more powerful and has an OLED screen on it. Or the kind of one of the early entries into this was the Streamlight Wedge. Well, as you can see, even the upsized Olight Arkfeld Pro is still a little smaller, a little shorter anyway, compared to the Streamlight. But this thing on maximum kicks out 1300 lumens. Doesn't last terribly long. Then it throttles down to 420 lumens. It does have a medium setting of 420 down to 100 after like 2 hours. And then the 100 lumen, kind of what they're calling the medium setting, lasts for darn near 10 hours. That's a long time. But then this thing, of course, has a 1500 milliwatt battery, or milliamp battery, excuse me. And it also runs for 11 days on its lowest 1 lumen moonlight setting. But it also has, if you look close here, kind of compare this to a couple of others, it has the UV and the laser. So the first one had a built-in laser, which was pretty unique. Then they upscaled to UV for those who need that in automotive or scientific aspects. And then they came out with one that runs both UV and laser and up to 1300 lumens of white light. So in the white light setting, if I turn it on, I can actually cycle through 3 different settings. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or I can kick it up to the full, brightest setting. If I click here, I've got a very nice, very clean green spot, and green is much more visible to the human eye than the red. And then I can also kick it over here to a UV, and for that one, I'll bring out my UV indicator, my Frisbee here. And when I turn that on, as you can see, it discolors this UV sensitive material, but this is really pumping out the ultraviolet, so it really darkens that. You see this little edge here, this is instantly changing color. The UV on this is running at around 365 nanometers, so it's just a little under, violet. It's not super dangerous, but anyway, it does kick out a lot of energy, which I'll show you outside. But also, if you turn it on, and hit your hand, you can immediately feel the heat. It's a pretty substantial thing. So I imagine there is some sterilization potential there, but mostly it does bring out anything that basically glows under UV light. So I've got UV, I've got laser, and I've got 4 different super bright or 4 different white light settings from super bright to moonlight, all in this little thing. It is bigger all the way around. It's a bigger clip, longer, thicker, wider. Overall, it's a pro version of a very handy, very powerful tool that Olight calls the Arkfeld.